Hey YouTube, Fired Up Prepper here. Looks a little bit different than last year, doesn't it? My little urban garden. So I wanted to do this video. I've been really excited because this has been going really tremendous so far this year. I believe today is May 19th, 2017. This was actually planted 2 weeks ago tomorrow. About a week before I planted it, I turned over the soil with a little tilling, manual tilling tool. And then I did it one more time with a shovel and then with the tilling tool again. When we moved into this house, there was actually a rose bush here. The soil is really, really good, really, really rich soil. The lady really had added a lot of, nutrients and stuff and took care of the soil. So last year I removed the rose bush. I decided to do a little garden over here, see what I could get going. I didn't plant seeds last year. Last year I went and bought some tomato plants and some pepper plants, some onions, and that's really it, besides what was the little bush I put in there for my wife, because I was going to get it going over here and then replant it. It ended up dying. But anyway, we got tons of peppers off the pepper plants, which was really cool. We got quite a few tomatoes. There was only 2 plants, and we got quite a few. The onions, for some reason, never took. They just never really took off. And I can't remember if it was it a sage? Anyway. So this year what I did was I planted some seeds I bought off eBay, non-GMO, what do they call them, heirloom seeds. They've been in my fridge in the garage, in the 2 separate Mylar bags that they come in. And I just put them right in there after I kind of looked at the outside of the packages. I never touched them again for 1.5 years, almost 2 years. And this year I decided to plant them. I'll get this down here where it's easier to hold. And I planted them to the correct depths that the information paperwork came with, as well as I could. Sorry, I'm gonna reach down here and grab this little broom handle that I'm gonna show you what is growing where. So this little garden is probably I don't know, 6 or 7 foot by 6 or 7 foot square. And then I also planted a little pumpkin patch right here. I was going to do it inside there, and I figured, you know what, the pumpkins are just going to be too big if they end up growing to have in there with everything else. So this is the gate to the backyard. This is actually in our front side yard here. And you can see the pumpkins are now coming up too. I turned that over the same way I did the other. This is a little bit more rocky. It wasn't worked last year, so I'll clean it out. But it looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's even one more than yesterday. Yesterday there were 6, and another one has popped through since yesterday. But I get excited every day. This week I traveled 2 days. Overnight Tuesday to Wednesday and overnight Thursday to Friday, and I was excited to get back each day to see the growth, and it's unbelievable because you can definitely see it. I mean, it's became my baby. I can't wait to get home every day and see how it's doing. Lightly water it every single day. We got some rain last night, so you see that some of the leaves on these plants are dirty. Must have got a pretty good heavy rain. But I'm just going to point out to you what's in the different rows. Up here in row 1, up here, tomatoes. A couple different kinds of tomatoes, I believe. Row 2, these are peppers, and there's a few coming up over here to the right. Looks like there's 4 pepper plants coming up. Over here, this is okra. This row right here looks like every single one that I've planted has come up. Row 4, right here, is eggplant. There's some things sprouting down here, so if those are eggplants, great. If not, I don't know yet. There's some down here, so a little bit slower coming. I should be telling you the depth. The tomatoes were at a 1/4 inch depth. The pepper's a 1/2 inch depth, the okra a 1/4 inch, and the eggplant a 1/4 inch. These right here, this row is beans. I think there's 2 or 3 different kinds of beans I planted. Those were at 1 inch depth. So they're coming pretty good. Looks like something in here isn't happening, but all the other ones are. Look how big this one is. That's in only 2 weeks, guys, gals. That was at 1 inch depth. Carrots. This is the carrot row. Looks like almost all the carrot are sprouting. Right here, underneath the carrots, we have squash. This is all squash in here. Right here, I think there's maybe 2 different kinds of squash. And then these are supposed to be turnips, and that's kind of weird. You know, it's one of those real, how can I say, it's, you know, you can see it's real delicate, I guess, type thing, and they really got smashed with the rain last night, it looks like. So sometimes this area here I can show you right above, this is magnolia tree, and these magnolia leaves, they fall down in here, you can see right here, and I dig them out every day because they're very hard and they're very sharp, and if there's any, you know, of the sprouts coming up, it can literally cut them and damage them and end that sprout. What else? So you can see this is 1/4 of the fence. We got, you know, window here that goes into a dining room, and then there's you know, some shrubs and stuff. But anyway, really excited about the growth and what's happened just only in 2 weeks with this. So you know, Pastor Joe Fox, Viking Preparedness, he says start where you are with what you got, and this is where I started last year with what I had, just to see, just to kind of get the green thumb going. And this year I decided to go a little bit more into depth and try the seeds, and so far it's just been fantastic, and I couldn't be more pleased. What I'm going to do at the end of the year this year, after everything's harvested, I'm going to go ahead and probably add like a couple 2, 3, 4, 5 bags of potting soil, and then maybe some Miracle-Gro stuff, mix it all in and just get it ready for the next season. I may try and find some seeds or something that can be planted or whatever for the fall, but I've also thought about extending it down this way and putting up a like a chain link fence all through here and having the garden all back in here, because you can see it gets partial to full sun for a little while during the day. This is east over this way, so sun's coming around this way. When it gets up to be around noon or 1 and 11 to 1 or whatever, then it's getting some sun down here. There's enough room for it to get rain when it rains like it did last night, and of course I've been watering it every day. So anyway, hope you're at least trying to get out there and you know, get something growing some of your own food. It's always exciting to prepare your meals, you know, because I want to be able to plant potatoes and more onions again, and you know, maybe some corn, but you know, this is where I'm starting. I'm really happy with what's going on this year so far. Excited about the pumpkins. I told the wife that if we can get 5 good pumpkins coming up, we can name them after the grandkids. And we've got 6 or 7 plants coming up now, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if they continue to grow. You might be wondering about these pots. Well, not ready to tell you about those yet, what's in there. But anyway, fired up. I'm fired up about the garden, and you know, this is something little and, you know, that anybody can do. Just take a little spot and get it going. You got to get started. Anyway, starting to feel some raindrops coming down. Stay fired up. See you on the next video. Make sure to get down and comment below. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see you on the next video. Fired up.